Hunger is a quiet thief. It does not smash the door. It seeps through the cracks in the walls, stealing the warmth from the hearth, the laughter from the children, the strength from the hunter's arms. For 10 days, the clan of the Red Earth has been its victim. The small, fast-running dinosaurs have vanished. The streams are empty of fish. Then their latest foraging has yielded only a handful of bitter roots. The hunters return each evening lighter than they left, their steps slow, their faces etched with the shame of failure. They are masters of the safe hunt, the low-risk pursuit of small gains that has sustained their people for generations. But the world has grown stingy, and their safe ways are now a blueprint for a slow, dignified starvation. Jorm, the clan leader, feels the weight of every empty stomach. His wisdom, earned through a lifetime of caution, feels like a hollow gourd. He watches as the children chew on strips of tough, boiled hide, not for nourishment, but to trick their bellies into silence. From their high rock shelter, they can see it. It is the cruelest joke the world has ever told. A lone Shantungosaurus, the largest of the duck-billed giants, grazes in the valley below. It is not a beast, it is a landscape that moves, a mountain of meat, a walking season's worth of food, fat, and bone for tools. Its presence is a constant, immense, and utterly unattainable promise. To hunt it with their short flint-tipped spears would not be a hunt. It would be a form of mass suicide. The creature could crush a man with a careless step, shatter bone with a swing of its massive tail. It is an impossible prize, a dream that borders on madness. The madness finds its voice in Kale. He is young, his muscles coiled tight with a strength that hunger has not yet fully unraveled. His eyes have the dangerous, feverish glint of a cornered animal. "We hunt the mountain," he says that night, his voice cutting through the grim silence around the fire. The words are a stone dropped into a still pool. The other hunters stare at him, their expressions a mixture of shock and contempt. "That is a death wish, boy," Jorm says, his voice a low rumble of authority. "We have lost good hunters to beasts half that size. We stick to what we know, we wait. The game will return. The children will not last the wait." Kel shoots back, his gaze flicking to where a mother rocks a listless child. "Your way, we die slowly, we chase it into the narrow canyon. We cause a rock slide. It is a chance. The debate is a clash of worlds. Jorm's caution versus Kale's desperation. The collective memory of past failures versus the terrifying hope of a single, spectacular success. The clan is torn, the leader who has always kept them safe. Then they look at their own hungry children, and the terrible logic of the gamble begins to take root. If you have ever stood at the edge of a cliff, where the only path forward is to jump, then this fire is your fire. The chronicle of the Canyon clan must be told. The debate is settled not with words, but with the hollow eyes of a hungry child. Jorm concedes. He does not approve, but he steps aside, a leader acknowledging that the caution which has preserved his people is now the very thing that will extinguish them. The gamble is on. The responsibility, heavy as a burial stone, settles onto Kale's young shoulders. The plan is a testament to the desperate genius of early humans, a piece of primitive technology constructed not of stone and wood, but of landscape and fear. For 2 days, the entire clan works. The women, the old and even the older children make the grueling trek to the mouth of the narrow canyon, a deep scar in the earth a mile from the valley. They do not carry spears, they carry rocks. They pile them high on the canyon's unstable ledges, creating a precarious wall of debris held in place by a few key logs. It is a deadfall trap of geological proportions. The hunters, meanwhile, begin the most dangerous phase, steering the mountain. They do not approach the Shantungosaurus as hunters, but as irritants. They are a swarm of biting flies trying to move a boulder. Kale is the tip of this audacious spear. He and 2 others creep close, using the terrain for cover, their hearts hammering a frantic rhythm against their ribs. The sheer scale of the beast is a physical oppression. Its breath is a gust of wind smelling of chewed ferns. Its footsteps are dull, seismic thuds that they feel in their chests. They begin the goad. They throw small rocks that clatter against the creature's tough, pebbled hide. They yell, their shouts thin and reedy against its immense bulk. The unfamiliar smell of smoke and the sight of dancing flames are potent tool against a creature of instinct. The Shantungosaurus is a placid herbivore. Its primary defense its sheer size and the safety of a herd. Alone, it is prone to panic. It merely shifts its weight, letting out a low, resonant bellow of annoyance. But the hunters are relentless. They are a persistent, nagging threat that it cannot ignore or crush. Kale darts in, closer than anyone else dares, and hurls a flaming brand near its massive feet. This is the final insult. The beast's deep-seated herd instinct, the ancient wiring that screams flee from danger, finally takes over. It lets out a great, trumpeting roar of panic and begins to move, not in a charge, but in a lumbering, earth-shaking trot. It is steering away from the pinpricks of fire and pain, directly toward the open, welcoming mouth of the canyon. The bet is working. The hunters now become shepherds of this panicked behemoth, a flanking line of screaming, torch-waving figures, keeping it on its path. The ground shudders. The sound is deafening. They are running alongside an avalanche, a single moment of hesitation, and they will be nothing more than a red stain on the prehistoric earth. John watches from a high ridge, his hands clenched into fists, his face a stone mask of terror and awe. His entire world, the lives of everyone he knows, is balanced on the reckless courage of a boy in the panicked flight of a dinosaur. The canyon is a funnel, its high rock walls amplifying the beast's panic bellows into a deafening roar. The Shantungosaurus thunders into the narrow passage, its massive body scraping against the stone, sending showers of rock and dust cascading down. It is no longer a creature. It is a geological event, a river of flesh and bone flooding the ravine. Above, on the precarious ledges, the clan waits, their faces pale in the dust-choked air. Her hand resting on the one that will begin the avalanche. She is the trigger. The weight of the entire gamble rests on her timing. The signal is a high-pitched bird call from Kale, who is now scrambling up a fissure in the canyon wall, just ahead of the stampeding giant. He has done his part. He has done his part. He has delivered the mountain to their doorstep. The call comes, thin and sharp, cutting through the chaos. Elara does not hesitate. She throws her entire weight, and the weight of another woman beside her, against the log. It groans, shifts, and then gives way. The cascade begins. It is not an instant crash, but a slow, grinding surrender of the mountain to gravity. First, a river of pebbles and small rocks, then a cascade of larger stones, and then the whole ledge collapses in a thunderous grinding roar. Boulders the size of men plummet down, striking the canyon floor with impacts that shake the very foundations of the earth. A massive rock strikes its flank, not with enough force to kill but to injure, to throw it off balance. Its great legs, built to carry its weight on flat ground, tangle beneath it on the treacherous, rock-strewn slope. It stumbles. It is the stumble of a falling titan. The sound it makes is not a roar of pain but a high, whistling shriek of pure mortal terror as 50 tons of life lose their battle with physics. It crashes onto its side, its fall shaking the canyon like an earthquake, its immense body wedged between the narrow walls. A cloud of dust, thick, as a fog billows up, obscuring everything. For a long, terrifying moment, the only sound is the rain of falling rock and the echo of their own pounding hearts. The dust settles. The clan peers down from their ledges. The beast is down. It is not dead, but its legs are broken. Its massive body trapped by its own bulk and the unyielding stone. It is a victory so immense, so overwhelming. It feels more like a dream. The hunt is not over. The most dangerous part, the close killing of the trapped giant, still remains. But the impossible has been achieved. Kale stands on his perch, his chest heaving, his body trembling with adrenaline and exhaustion. He looks not at the dying beast, but at the faces of his clan. He sees not just relief, but a new light in their eyes. The fear is still there, but it is now mixed with a terrifying, empowering realization. They have not just hunted a beast, they have moved a mountain. The old rules, the safe ways that had been strangling them, are now as broken as the dinosaurs' bones. They have bet their lives and won, and in doing so, have discovered a new and intoxicating power, the understanding that sometimes the greatest risk is to risk nothing at all. Embers and decos. The butchering of the fallen Titan takes days. The clan works in a state of reverent awe, carving a bounty from the beast that is beyond their wildest imaginations. Every part is used, the beginning of a new osteodontocratic tradition born from a single massive kill. The meat is smoked and dried, the hide provides shelter for a generation, and the great bones become the framework for a new kind of life, one where the fear of tomorrow's hunger is, for the first time, gone. But the victory does not belong to him alone. It belongs to the clan, to the collective will that chose to abandon the safety of the known for a terrifying leap into the unknown. This was not just a hunt, it was a revolution in thinking. It was a conscious decision to embrace a high-risk, high-reward strategy, a fundamental shift in the psychology of our ancestors. We, their descendants, carry this legacy in our very core. It is the gambler's instinct that drove us out of Africa, across the oceans, and to the surface of the moon. It is the audacious belief that the mountain can be moved, that the impossible can be made possible through a combination of desperate courage and intelligence. Their gamble in that dusty canyon echoes in every stock market trade, every scientific experiment, every time we bet our future on a single brilliant, terrifying idea. This has been the chronicle of the Canyon Clan. Their hunger taught them how to fly. But what happens when the hunger is not for food, but for the unknown itself?